Life is full of tough decisions, and sometimes we find ourselves in a position where we must choose between two undesirable options. This is known as the lesser of two evils dilemma, and it is a predicament that tests our character and values. While we may initially feel trapped and powerless in such situations, they actually present an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By confronting difficult choices, we are forced to confront our own values and beliefs, to question our assumptions, and to explore new perspectives. In essence, the sharp blade of having to choose between two personal evils cuts through our self-denial and forces us to confront the truth of who we are and what we stand for. In this essay, we will explore the nature of the lesser of two evils. Knowing one's values and priorities is a powerful tool for making decisions that align with one's authentic self. By understanding what is truly important to us, we can make choices that are in line with our deepest desires and aspirations. This requires a level of self-reflection and introspection that can be uncomfortable at times, as it may force us to confront aspects of ourselves that we may have been avoiding. However, the process of examining our values and priorities allows us to gain a greater understanding of our true selves and to live more authentically. This process of self-discovery can be challenging, but the rewards are significant. When we know ourselves deeply, we are better equipped to navigate difficult choices and to make decisions that are true to who we are. Living authentically means living in accordance with our deepest values and beliefs rather than conforming to societal expectations or external pressures. Authenticity and integrity are closely intertwined, as integrity provides a foundation for authenticity by promoting honesty, consistency, and alignment with one's values, while authenticity requires a deep understanding of oneself, including the unconscious parts. However, authenticity can be a tricky concept to grasp, as it is easy to confuse our persona with our essence. Our persona is the social mask that we wear in different situations, while our essence is the core of who we are. To live authentically, we must be true to our essence rather than our persona. This is where knowing our priorities and values becomes invaluable. When we know what truly matters to us, we are better equipped to resist the temptation to conform to external expectations or to shift our identity in response to different situations. Instead, we can stay true to ourselves, even when it is difficult or unpopular to do so. This requires courage, but it is the only way to live an authentic life that is true to our essence. Meaning in life is not an objective reality that can be discovered through external means. Rather, meaning is a subjective experience that arises from fulfilling one's deepest values and aspirations. There is no inherent meaning to anything, and what is valuable to one person may not be valuable to another. This is why it is so important to know one's own values and priorities. When we understand what is truly important to us, we are better able to navigate the complexities of life and to find meaning in the things that matter most to us. This allows us to avoid getting stuck in situations that are devoid of value and to focus our energies on the things that bring us the greatest sense of purpose and fulfillment. Ultimately, the experience of meaning blossoms out of living a life that is aligned with our deepest values and aspirations. Most people have found themselves in a scenario where their top two values have been contrasted against one another, and they had to make a decision, knowing that they will lose something meaningful either way. There wasn't a way to keep both valuable things or keep engaging in both situations. Instead, one had to choose what one valued most. The irony of these situations is that the very contrast between two values that makes the decision so difficult is also what creates the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. When we are forced to choose between two things we value deeply, we are forced to confront the limits of our own understanding and to grapple with the complexity of our own desires and priorities. This can be an incredibly uncomfortable and painful process, but it is also a deeply transformative one. By facing the reality of our own conflicting values, we gain a new level of insight and self-awareness that can help us to navigate future challenges with greater clarity and purpose. In this way, the seemingly impossible choice between two contrasting values becomes a sharp blade that cuts through self-denial and reveals the truth of our own being. For example, consider a woman who values personal growth and deep connection equally, but finds herself in a stagnant relationship. She knows that staying or leaving means sacrificing one of these values. Understanding that growth is slightly more important to her, she decides to end the relationship despite the pain it may cause. Another example involves a man who strongly disagrees with a mandatory health measure during a global pandemic. His anxiety over this situation is causing him to lose sleep. If he values integrity more than social coherence, he may choose to reject the health measure despite potential consequences such as losing friends, being fired, or facing legal penalties. By making a conscious decision based on his values, he can face the discomfort of losing these things with dignity and self-respect, rather than being lost and without a guide to navigate his own internal world. By understanding their own values and priorities, both the woman and the man in these examples were able to choose the path that aligned with their true selves, despite the discomfort and loss that came with it. This is the power of knowing oneself deeply and using that knowledge to make difficult decisions. It allows one to navigate through life with intention and authenticity, rather than being tossed around by external circumstances and the expectations of others. Throughout history, those who stick to their values have been regarded as heroes. These individuals, who confidently navigate through difficult times, following only their inner vision, are celebrated as inspirational leaders. Their ability to unravel life's complexities and follow their own compass has always been recognized as the ultimate way of existing in the world. It's widely understood that such an attitude brings personal satisfaction and inevitably leads to external good. Sticking to one's values is not always an easy path, but it is one that can bring immense rewards. It requires a strong sense of self and a deep understanding of what truly matters to us. When we are faced with difficult decisions or challenging situations, it is often our values that provide us with guidance and help us to stay true to ourselves. But heroism doesn't just apply to larger-than-life figures. It also manifests in everyday people who demonstrate courage and integrity by standing up for what they believe in, even when it may not be the popular or easy thing to do. Whether it's speaking out against injustice or making a difficult decision that aligns with our values, we all have the potential to be heroes in our own lives. Ultimately, living in alignment with our values can lead to a sense of purpose and fulfillment that is difficult to attain in any other way. When we know what matters most to us and make choices based on those values, we create a life that is truly our own. And in doing so, we can inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of positive change in the world. Many people hold a misconception that respect is something that can be simply chosen, but in reality, respect is earned through soundness and integrity. To truly respect someone, whether they are a stranger or a close friend, one must recognize their integrity and character. Likewise, to respect an idea, one must see its structural soundness and reliability. When an individual knows their own values and follows them consistently, it is a clear indication of their integrity and character, which in turn earns them respect from others. Integrity is an essential component of earning respect, and it is only through consistent actions that one can achieve it, which can only be taken if one knows their deeply seated values. In a nutshell, choosing between two conflicting values or two perceived evils is one of the most difficult decisions we may ever face. It can force us to confront our deepest fears, question our beliefs, and challenge our self-awareness. Yet, this kind of introspection can also be transformative. It allows us to see ourselves more clearly, to understand our values, and to develop a sense of integrity that earns the respect of others. When we face these difficult choices, we have the opportunity to grow, to become more self-aware, and to live a life that is consistent with our values. As we navigate the storms of life, let us remember that the power of transformation lies within us, and that by choosing wisely, we can become heroes of our own story.